This morning was such a joy. It really was so fun. Kelly and I met on the Twin Cities Live Facebook page for the Twin Cities Live Book Club. It is presented by our friends at By the Yard. I had a little coffee. We got to sit down with our friends and chat.
Well, you guys look forward to this for so many weeks, and word on the street, everybody's talking about it in town. It was an incredible conversation.
Everybody is talking about it. We got several 5-star ratings for our book that we picked, which is called What Happened to the McCraes. It was Kelly's pick. Kelly's here, though, because after the book club wrapped up, then we were lucky enough to hop on Zoom with New York Times bestselling author Tracy Lang to chat with her. What a great day, Kel.
It was really fun. And I know you guys were talking about it earlier in the show about talking to the authors and how like maybe they wouldn't want to talk to us. They're all so excited to chat with us. And I was asking Tracy actually before you jumped on the Zoom, like, are you nervous when people talk about your book in a book club? She said, I liken it to walking outside naked.
Well, it's very vulnerable, right?
I mean, you're pouring your heart and soul into a book that you've written for months, maybe more than that. And then everyone's judging you.
I know.
But we had rave reviews. Many of our book clubbers gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, we busted through it.
It was a really great conversation.
So the book, if you haven't read it, I think you'll want to pick it up anyway. The book dives into 2 sides of a relationship. Yes. It's a failed marriage, and it's a then and now timeline. So you're kind of knowing what's going on now with them post breakup, and then you're also learning what happened to them during their love story, and then what went wrong and how the foundation cracked.
What happened to the McCraes?
What happened to the McCraes?
So we talked to Tracy though about this process when she starts to write. Here's what she had to say.
I really just started out wanting to explore divorce. That's kind of what I settled on, and I knew early on that I was going to have a dual point of view book and a dual timeline book, so that we could look at what happened, what brought them together in the first place, and then what happened later. But I did not know what happened to them when I started that first draft. I did not know why they got divorced. And so
Isn't that interesting?
That's fascinating.
To think about, she sat down, she knew that she wanted to talk about divorce, but didn't know how they were going to get there or what was going to cause the divorce. So she did tell us she explored all different avenues for why people get divorced, but then she settled on a tragedy, which we won't give that away, but it is part of the book, and it's a big part of the book that I was not expecting.
Right.
I know most of our readers weren't as well. But she says that she never would have thought she'd write about something like this, so it surprised her. And it's a beautiful story.
Was this, and that probably a personal question towards her, I don't know, maybe you guys didn't, maybe she talked about it. Was this like a personal connection, why she wanted to focus on divorce? Like, was this like somebody she knew or her own personal life?
She told us her parents divorced when she was in middle school, and there are middle schoolers in the book. And then she also did set the book in a town called Potsdam, New York, which is a real town, and so she incorporated that. And then a lot of the characters were real people.
Right, even down to the dog. Her dog is in the book.
Yeah.
So what she said she usually doesn't do. I had to find out. Like, are all of your books, with real people in your life? And she said she's never done that before. So she did that here. But what's really interesting, though, we have learned when we've chatted with these authors that a lot of them didn't set out to be a writer.
Right.
And so
they had a previous life.
They had a previous life, and Tracy did too.
I went into a different field, into psychology for many years, and I've worked in the mental health field. But when I had a chance to step away from that work, it's really a second career for me. So I've been writing for about 10 or 11 years now, and I just jumped in, treated it like a full-time job. And but I think by then I felt like maybe I had more to say.
I think that her history in psychology, and we told her this, is certainly evident in the books because she explores so much about relationship dynamics and then also mental health issues.
Right. There is a mental health component in this book. And so that was really telling that she had a previous lifetime helping people through some really terrible struggles, but then was able to learn from that to incorporate it into a story.
Yeah.
And it was really great.
I think it's inspiring, though, too, to just hear, like, you can go to college for something, you can love it, you can have a career.
A writer.
Or a knitter.
Someone
or
could interview us and they could say, what'd you do before this?
Yeah, what did you do before this? You could be like, in my previous life, I worked on a TV show, but now
I'm a brain
am
surgeon.
A New York Times.
Surgeon.
I am not
Can
going to
you
be a brain
believe it?
surgeon. What if you became a brain
I
surgeon?
went back to school and I did it.
No, thank you.
I do think it is fascinating though, because if you don't go to school for like, where do you even begin? I know that we've all read books.
I think you get on Google
And
and you're like,
figure it
what's the
out.
structure of like,
just-
what's my style? You know?
It's very
what
cool.
you're drawn to.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got one more.
We got
note.
one more
Yeah.
though. You want to go ahead and
Well,
take it?
okay. So we can always find a Minnesota connection. It is amazing how it happens.
Weird.
The story centers around a middle school hockey team in a small town. Wouldn't you know, there was a Minnesotan who helped her write about hockey.
I spent a lot of time researching, and I actually have a great writer friend who lives in Minnesota, and he's a hockey nut. And so he was a bit of a coach to me. So I just got to know hockey. It would amaze you how many YouTube videos I've watched of middle schoolers playing hockey.
I mean, really.
I know, a Minnesotan
Yeah.
an
This
author.
happens every time. It's like
really weird.
my aunt lives in Minnesota and she's this person to me and she was this character in the book. Or like there will be a story we have no idea. It's not set in Minnesota, but then some character is from Minnesota. Doesn't this happen every
Happens
time?
Every time. So when she said this, we were like, of course.
Of course.
That would be.
All right.
Yeah, we're connectors.
Are you ready for the next book?
Yes, let's do it.
Oh boy, we announced it this morning and now we announce it to you. The next book is written by an author named Sarah Penner and the book is called The Amalfi Curse, okay? This is interesting. So it's got like some witchcraft. It has a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas. Beware the Amalfi Curse. It's kind of like a fantasy, historical fiction, mystery kind of magic, which is a departure. We haven't really picked a book like this.
We have not, and I did a deep dive on Sarah Penner.
You did?
I went on Instagram. I sent you her profile.
Oh, I saw that. I gotta look.
And she posted a video of people reviewing it. I think it's going to be good.
Really?
People are like, this is my favorite book ever. I mean, she is a New York Times bestselling author.
Yep.
She sold over 1 million copies of her last book. I believe it's called The Apothecary.
Yep.
And so, I mean, she is the real deal. So she doesn't know we're going to ask her to chat with us, though.
She might know already.
Okay.
She's agreed. I think we're in good shape.
Good
Our
job.
next book club meeting will be in July, so you've got 2 months, Ben Lieber, to read The Amalfi Curse. And if you missed any of our previous picks, it's never too late to join the club. On the events page of TwinCitiesLive.com, you can see a whole list of what we've been reading, and that full interview with Tracy Lang is going to be posted on the Twin Cities
Very
Live
soon.
YouTube channel soon.